DotaFanTV, welcome back to the channel, boys and girls. In today's video, we will be looking at the TI10 qualifier for two different regions that has already been played, which is, what is it, boys? South America and CIS, also known as Eastern European region. Just call them CIS for fuck's sake. Anyway, there are also two other regions that have been played this week, which is Southeast Asia and North America. I apologize for the slight delay for this video. I was honestly too occupied with the new Battle Pass that came out. I was grinding some of the Battle Pass level. Other than that, I'm also actually waiting for a new microphone to arrive, but it took, a few days later than it's supposed to be because of shipping from China and all. So at the end of the day, I figured, I'm not gonna wait for that. I'm gonna make one video for my viewer, right? You guys are waiting for this, aren't ya? Just kidding, nobody is watching anyway.
All around me are familiar faces, worn out places.
Hey, let's go. What do we have here first, which is South America? I have to be honest, I think you guys already know, I didn't spend a lot of time watching the game. I was too busy grinding on Dota 2 after the Battle Pass is released. But I think my reaction should be the same as everyone else, which is no ping esport. After the first series, they immediately got knocked down to the lower bracket. They lost to Team Infinity. Who is Team Infinity? Where did they finish? They finished last in the upper division. Not very good, obviously. I don't know how the hell they end up in that position. But anyway, they went down to the lower bracket. Actually, at this point in my brain, I'm already thinking it's very unlikely they'll make it all the way and win it and be qualified to TI. Reason is because the journey through the lower bracket is so difficult. That is why when, let's say, Nigma did the run where they did lower bracket and then reached all the way to the final in TI9, I think in TI7 also the same. It was such a miraculous run. At the same time, we also saw like OG did it before, right? Boston Major probably, the one where they went lower bracket all the way to the final and they won it. It is a very rare thing. It's very difficult to do because there are so many games that you need to play, and eventually you will burn out of strategy. You go back to what you're comfortable with, and those are the things that people can eventually figure you out and break your team down. We saw that by Team Nigma in the recent major as well. But yeah, going back to them, they did a decent run. They played 4 series where they win 3 of them, and then meeting Team Unknown is where they lost in the lower bracket round 4, which is about the 4th place, but the placement doesn't really matter because only the first team that ended and won the series get to go to TI, not even major. This is TI qualifier. And SG Esport did it. And where is SG Esport? They are which place did they finish? They didn't even mention, really. Okay, here we have it. We have the standing of the region. Actually, they didn't even finish that high. Look at them. There are 6 in the SA region, and Team Unknown is actually the other finalists, and they are placed 7th. The other teams that finished ahead of them, Hokori, Infamous, and No Ping Esports, all didn't make it. That is a big blunder in my opinion, by the South American team. Yeah, I didn't watch most of the game, but having said that, one other thing I want to point out is I think Moxie is one of the casters who watched a lot of the game. I think she tweeted at the beginning of the entire qualifier saying that SG Esports and Team Unknown are the 2 dark horses that will make it really far in this qualifier. I think she got it spot on. I don't know how she did it. She clearly watched a lot of the game, but looking at the result that we have over here as well, SG Esports was 2-5, Unknown is 1-6. They even get relegated. Maybe she knows something that we all don't know. Not too sure about that. Next up, we have the CIS region. Some may call it the Eastern European, which is another exciting region to be looking at, honestly, because we have only VP who are confirmed for TI10, and the other team have to play through the qualifier. And right now, like I mentioned in the preview, there are a lot of strong Team Spirit have a good showing in the major, and then you have AS Monaco Gambit for fairly decent. Navi, of course, entire team a star player, and then you have other teams, unique as well, some of the really good name. Of course, Hellraiser is a team I kind of support in this particular qualifier, and the result has already been out. We can look through the entire playthrough. We have Team Spirit. Let's look at them first. They eventually come out on top. They were basically didn't drop a single series. They beat plenty of strong team also, in my opinion. Being Strike didn't really bother them. Puck Jam didn't really bother them. I think Hellraiser as well didn't really put it off as a challenge for them. The last two games especially, it was more or less I wouldn't say a storm kind of thing, but I don't think Hellraiser put in enough to be challenging Team Spirit. Eventually, the only team that came close to actually beating Team Series in the best in a 5-game or 3-game series is Team Empire. If this is the best of 3, Empire would have already won. Just look at this. Team Spirit got the first game, and then Empire got the next 2 game, and then the final 2 game go to Team Spirit. One other thing I really want to mention is that I did watch some game, not a lot, but most of the game that I watched are mainly from Hellraiser. I think they played well in the series between Knuckle Gambit, Navi. Obviously, at the end of the day, they lost to Team Spirit and Team Empire, both of the finalists. But I think both these two teams deserve to be in the final. They were clearly the 2 strongest team in the region at this particular moment, and Team Spirit at the end of the day come out on top. One other thing that I need to mention as well would be Navi. Winning 1 series, then immediately lost 2 series in a row, and then got eliminated. Honestly, I won't say I'm too surprised. I know I mentioned, just look at the roster, right? These are really, really strong team. V2, No One, Ramses, Roger, Soneko. You can say all these are probably the strongest in one of the strongest in their own position, and then they are also definitely tier 1 player in the CIS region, right? But the problem with them is that they just got together, they just formed the team not long ago. Although they are really good, but they are really strong character as well. You have Roger, Ramses, No One, V-Tune, and then Soneko. And the captain is Soneko, of course, but all of these are in some way very strong character, right? I think if you watch the Kiev Major, where they have the true sight, when you can see how player interact and speak, all those things. The dynamic of the team is very difficult to balance, honestly, with this particular roster. And I know a lot of people look at them and think, wow, this is an all-star team, they're really good and all, but in my opinion, it's just too many strong character. At the same time, the way the team was formed as well, it was initially Navi basically took over Fly to Moon's roster, right? And then they kicked one of the offlane despite finishing 2nd in the DPC, yeah? They kicked their offlane, General, and then they recruit Ramses because, quote-unquote, they want to play with Ramses. And then after that, they didn't do well in the season. Before the major, they recruited 2 other players I think it was No One and Soneko. And I think when did Rogers come in as well? Basically, they shuffled the entire fucking roster, right? From the beginning where they have the Fly to Moon roster, and then they kick everyone, they replace a captain. And the one that remain is only V-Tune from the original Navi roster beginning of last season. That is just... And that team finished 2nd. You kick everyone, and right now you don't even make it to TI. That is just... I don't know who make all this decision, but it's appalling. It's poor decision, and honestly, I don't feel bad for them. I kind of feel like they deserve it. Navi is such a good, in my opinion, a strong and established organization, right? They need a slap in the face and on someone who make the decision and say, dude, something is already working, don't fucking break it because you want to bring in big names like Ramses and Rogers and whatever. No, all these players are, I mean, no offense, but they haven't been playing a good Dota for so long. I mean, maybe they have been playing decent Dota, but they are not in a team where they have been winning. And your previous Navi roster has been up and about there, like one of the best. And you can see that they were close enough to be challenging VP. They were 2nd only because VP is fucking strong. And right now, oh my god, honestly, they deserve it, man. I don't even care if they disband. They should kick every fucking one and, you know, rebuild the entire team, start from scratch again. I'm saying this not because I hate any of this player, but I feel like they deserve it. Honestly, man, like fuck off already from the team. And I like Navi as well. I hope they get that shit together, honestly. Yeah, so that's my rant. I think I spent too much time talking about that. I also need to give a bit more credit to Team Empire. They were second in the lower division, and they started from the lower bracket as well, all the way going to the final and putting a really good fight to Team Spirit. And then their Twitter game as well is really strong. And last but not least, I also want to highlight this particular player in Depressed Kid, which is their mid, and you'll be surprised now how old is he? 16. He's fucking 16 years old, man. And this guy is playing out of his mind. He is so brave. There's a lot of play that he, like, basically just YOLO, just running. He don't care. His invoker play is really strong. I think this guy will, given the right opportunity, will grow and become a really good player. I hope he played with organization that don't simply kick players because, you know, they want to play with, you know, quote unquote better players or bigger names. Just fuck off with those mindset. That's it for today's videos. Thank you so much for watching. There are going to be 2 other regions playing the TI10 qualifier this weekend, which will be Southeast Asia and North America. So if you like this kind of content, let me know by leaving a thumbs up and then subscribe to the channel as well, because I will be making another video over the weekend for these 2 regions that I mentioned. Hopefully with a new mic lah. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.